Hey everybody, happy Friday. I hope everybody is well. Hope everybody had a good week. It's been a pretty good week here. Our weather's been really good the past couple of days, up in the 60s. It was almost 80 one day, and so I think spring is approaching. We had one cold day. It was like in the 50s, and the wind has just been really, really active these past couple of days. I mean, just windy, windy, windy. So it was making it feel a little bit colder the other day. So we all had our winter coats on. It was crazy outside. We all go outside, to the front porch a lot, and we sit out there and yap for a couple of hours every day, which is fun. I enjoy doing that to get some socialization. Yeah, I loved my Randolph Roadhouse, but I was so lonely because I had nobody. So this has been a good change for me. So my neighbor actually brought up one of her tower fans for me because she asked me when I was going to get my air conditioner put in, and I said, I'm not. I can't afford the $175 they're demanding from us for us to use our air conditioners. That's absolutely ridiculous. This company that took over, they are not, they are just not comprehending that this is a building of senior citizens, okay? Three-quarters of us live on Social Security. And who the hell can afford $175? I've only seen maybe 3 or 4 air conditioners in the building because that's too expensive, and we're just going to use a bunch of fans. Now, I don't know if this is right or not, but I would think that with the number of fans that we all have in our house, 2 in the living room, 2 in the bedroom, isn't that going to cost just as much electricity as the air conditioner would? Or not? I don't know. We were talking about that today. It says, it'll probably cost them the same, because we'll be using so many fans to keep cool this summer. So, yeah, that's that. So, went down to go see the apartments tonight that they're renovating. Finally, the cabinets came in, and they have painted maybe one full apartment and then half of another apartment. And I believe 1, 2, 3, there's 4 apartments down there, or 5, something like that. And so they got to finish painting, and then they need to put those cabinets back up so these poor people can go back to their apartments. They were only supposed to be out of the apartment for maybe, what did they say, 30 days? Yeah, about a month. And it's been close to 6 weeks now. And they've been going so slow, probably because of all the plumbing issues. They have found so many plumbing issues in this building. And I think that's kind of what put everything back as far as the dates. Because they were turning off the water every day from 9 to 1 so they could work on the pipes. I don't know if they're coming back next week or not, but hopefully that's all fixed. So now they've got all the cabinets in the apartments, then they have to put them together. So hopefully that we're getting to the end of the tunnel for the poor people who live on the first floor. So, yeah. Anyhow, so I've been very good with my weight and my diet this week. I only lost 1 pound, but I guess it's better than gaining 2 or 3, right? So I've basically just been eating, I'm not eating a whole lot. It's the end of the month. You know how that goes. You you gotta stretch your food out as much as you can. So I've been eating brown rice. I had some Uncle Ben's brown rice packets, and then I bought some frozen vegetables that I can steam in the microwave, and I just add it into the rice, and that's a nice little meal. That's what my sister had when I was at her place, her boyfriend's place. She would just have white rice and a bunch of vegetables with it, and yeah, pretty filling. Plus, I still have a couple of healthy choice meals in the icebox, the refrigerator. So Yeah, I'm proud. I've been doing that walk. And then you're going to see my thumbnail is a cute little wood frog. I was taking my walk today and I just caught something on the side of my eye and I said, what is that? Just a big clump of dirt or something? And then I got closer and I saw that it was a frog. And then I looked it up and it said it was a wood frog. Really cute. So that's what my thumbnail is today in my Friday vlog. So today I was a little bit worn out, so I was only able to go around the circle once. And I did do my stepper last night, so I'm thinking maybe my legs were just sore from that because I haven't done that in a while. But that's been good. Yeah, so down to 275. You know, it wasn't long ago that I was at 295. So I'm really, really proud of myself for really working on my body. You know, when I first got my security camera in early April, I was just appalled at how big I am. You don't really know how big you are, you know, until you see yourself on a camera. You know, even in pictures, they show how big, how fat you are. And so I was just appalled, you know, and I was like, now it's actually more toned. My hips have gone down a little bit and my butt has gone down a little bit. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing. So, yeah. And then I think I already talked about the dentist, right? I went to the oral surgeon yesterday, and I think they decided they're going to take, they talked about 4 or 5 teeth. I have a bad one in the back, and then all of these are either chipped or, you know, just rotted away. It's just it's crazy. You know, I always said to myself, I will never have, you know, a mouth looking like that, and I do now. But you don't realize these things until you get older, and they took away our Advantage Care plans from Vermont. So we don't have that anymore. So most of us just have regular Medicare and Medicaid if we qualify, which is what I have. Now, Medicaid covers routine dental care, right? Like cleaning and extractions. So that's how I've been able to get all my extractions out with only paying a $3 copay. I'm low income, very low income. So that's why I can get away with that. But now that our Advantage plans are no longer, you know, here, I'm in a big dilemma because I'm going to need top dentures, most definitely. And that's really, really something that I'm going to have to work on because I can't go, you know, without upper teeth. And I don't even know how it would affect my singing. It might. I don't know. But I finally went back to singing on Tuesday. I had been gone for 2 weeks because I've been having this sore throat and earache, which we still don't know what it's from. I think my TMJ arthritis is getting bad. I mean, that could be part of it because it's right in front of the ear, and that can cause ear pain too. But the weird thing is I get these piercing pain in my ear, and it's so bad sometimes. I've been living on ibuprofen. I've been taking like 800 milligrams every 4 hours because of how much pain I'm in right now. So from the tooth and the TMJ, and what a mess. So anywho, that's with that. I'm going to go on Thursday the 4th to get all these teeth taken out. I was going to get sedated, but then when they said I had to have somebody with me, I don't know anybody who's going to come with me and stay with me for an hour. So they decided to switch over to the light sedation. They call it the laughing gas. I don't know what that's really called. I'll have to look that up. So they're going to use that instead so that I can take our community transportation to and from there. So, yeah, that's that. And that'll be interesting. So, yeah, I did sing again on Tuesday, and that was so much fun. And my voice sounded so phenomenal on Tuesday. I couldn't believe it. It's like, wow, you know? Even though I was sick, it was a good rest for my vocal cords, you know? And I'm all swelled up again. I have a bad trouble with swollen glands my entire life. So anyhow, yeah. So went to go sing with Bruce on Tuesday. That's Shooting Star MS. After Shiversol, he is my absolute favorite channel to be on, because the crowd there is so sweet and so nice, and we're all so very supportive of each other. You know, pray for everybody if something's going wrong. Just a really, really happy crowd that goes over there. So I had a lot of fun. I sounded so good. And yeah, it was great. So I want to say, gosh, I don't know how long it's been, but one night we were singing, and Bruce called somebody their name, but put ski at the end of it, like Mildred Ski, hello. And I'm like, that's when I said, I'm going to start calling him Brewski. So I did. I was the first one to do the Brewski, right? But nobody spells it the way I spell it. I spell it Bruski, and other people will go Bruceski, and I'm like, no, Brewski, whatever. So we call each other that all the time now. It's like I'm Glowski, Brewski, Steve Ski. It's just so silly, but it's funny. We have so much fun over there, and he's a sweet, sweet man. I love you so much. I love you so much, Bruce. One of the best hostesses here on YouTube for our sing-alongs. I don't like to call them karaoke, because a lot of us do try to make the songs a little different. Sometimes we'll sing it exactly the way it was, performed, but other times, like when I do Chasing Cars, I do it a little differently. I mean, yeah, and I put more emotion into it too. I'm a very emotional singer. If I'm singing a song that is sad or a breakup song, you can feel it, because I'm just that kind of a singer, just my kind of singer. And Crystal Gale was absolute, my role model as far as singing. So she was a big influence on me, and to teach me the type of singing, that I like to do. And people have compared me to her because of my style, I guess, But my mom always said, you sound like Crystal Gale. Well, I don't know. I'm not sure about that, but anyhow, yeah. So, having fun with Brewskis on Tuesdays, and then Shimmer Soul, she doesn't come on as much as she used to with the sing-alongs, but when she does, I try to be there if I'm not feeling sick. So those are my two top people that I do sing-alongs with. There isn't really anybody else, I don't think. Oh yeah, we have another person, Darren. Dimecoin Darren. He might go live once in a while, so. Yeah, I don't sing as much as I used to, but I'm still going to order a new sound card. Because these Pile ones that I've had, they sound good, actually, but they're so cheaply made in China that after a couple of months, they start, the ports in the back fall down in the back, and then, and then you're out of luck. So I'm going to order one that's been recommended to me by Shimmer Soul. And, oh yeah, Mr. B's Music Addiction. I forgot about him. He doesn't come on as often now either, but when he does, I try to be with him. And Shimmer Soul said, this is the one that Mr. B has, and it's really good. So that's going to be my big purchase next week when I get paid. So I'm lucky that, at this point in my life, I do have a little bit of extra money, after all my bills, that I can spend, a little bit on myself. So that's going to be my big purchase. And then I always order, I order most of my stuff off of Amazon, simply because I can't go to the store. There's a Job Lots. That's a new one. It took the place of Big Lots. And, I can't really go in there and do a big haul because I've got to get on the bus with it. So I use Amazon for a lot of stuff. A lot of daily stuff, incontinence pads, unfortunately, women can relate to that. And, just things like that. So, And Winnie's kitty litter, the world's best cat litter. Damn, I love that stuff. So Winnie's doing good. It's so nice that I can pet her on her back, and it's nice and smooth and not full of mats. So yeah, I got out my glove. Okay, I have these gloves that have those little nibs on the end of them, and I don't know what's happened to her. She used to love for me to do that to her. She loved the gloves, and I guess I'm thinking because of the mats, maybe she just, is uncomfortable being touched and is just so afraid. I don't know. But I have to do it or else she's going to get all mad again. So I put my glove on. She saw it. I went to go pet her and she whipped around and she bit me. Not hard because I came away from her, you know. And I said, girl, we have to do this, whether you like it or not. So the only thing I could do, all right, because she's so adamant of scratching and biting me, I do a quick run. As soon as she turned her head back, I went, and then she'd come at me again. And I just did quick strokes, It was crazy. I don't know what's happened to my poor girl. She hates to be groomed, but she's got to be, so. Yeah, and that vet was so nice. They were so nice to her, and yeah. So that has been my week. I did go downstairs and check out the apartments that are being renovated. It's been taking them forever to do that, but I think it has a lot to do with the plumbing that had to be replaced. I mean, this is an old building, I think it was built maybe 75, 76, something like that. And then the last owner, she was gone for like a year and a half. I got here in November 2 years ago, and her dad had just died, and her mom lived in North Carolina. So once she started doing that, the building just went to pot. I mean, it probably wasn't in the best shape anyway before that. But when the new people came in and started renovating and doing all the things they want to do, they were held up for a couple of weeks. And I don't even know if that's over yet with the pipes. They've been turning the water off every day from 9 to 1 to try and work on all the issues that are going on in the building. So, but, I went down there and I see that all the cabinets, all the stuff is in the apartments, like the cabinets, but they've only painted one and a half apartments. So I think the painting is probably the next thing, and then they'll probably put the cabinets in, and then the new appliances, because we're going to get new refrigerators and new stoves. So, and then, yeah, so I've talked about this before, I believe, with the $175 they want for the air conditioner. And a lot of us just don't want to do it because that's ridiculous, And even if you do a payment plan, you'll be paying for it for 5 freaking months when you only need it for 2 months. So my neighbor brought me up a fan, and it's really nice. It's one of those tower fans. So that'll be nice. I'll probably put that one in the bedroom. I hang out mostly in the bedroom on the bed. I've always been that way, Even when I had couches and stuff, I'd always wind up on the bed, watching TV and playing games on my phone. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how everything pans out over here. Alrighty then, I think that'll do it. I hope everybody has a good weekend. Be safe. Please don't drink and drive. Be safe. See y'all next time. Bye.